Welcome to Conservation Nation. I'm your host, Gabriella Hoffman. In this series, we travel the country to highlight conservation in action. In this episode, our travels take us to the northeastern portion of the United States, namely New Jersey, Rhode Island, and Boston, to explore controversies surrounding the push for offshore wind development. The Biden administration is keen on harnessing 30 gigawatts of offshore wind energy by 2030 to fulfill their green energy goals. But many believe these massive wind farms will ruin important industries, harm tourism, and possibly decimate marine life, including the endangered North Atlantic right whale. I'm eager to explore the situation here. Join us as we learn more. Offshore wind industrialization, especially in the northeastern U.S., is opposed by a diverse set of stakeholders, including commercial fishermen and the supporting industries they serve. In fact, it was these folks who were the first to sue the Biden administration over building large offshore wind projects. I had a chance to talk to one of the plaintiffs involved in a lawsuit, Megan Lapp, who represents Sea Freeze Limited Fisheries. Megan is greatly concerned about the proposed Revolution Wind 2 project off Rhode Island, as well as the Sound and South Fork Wind project soon awaiting approval.
Our entire business revolves around our vessels being able to operate and to harvest their product. And offshore wind farms are going to preclude that. We are more regulated than oil and gas extraction, more regulated than pharmaceutical manufacturing, and we can't just relocate our activity to wherever we want. So by losing these areas, you're looking at potentially the end of commercial fishing on the east coast of the United States. And something else that people always mention is that, offshore wind is a sustainable or renewable industry. Let me tell you something. Commercial fishermen have been fishing the waters of New England since the 1600s, and we're still here. And we are a sustainable industry, and we are a renewable industry that operates on a renewable resource, and we can be here for hundreds more years if we're not put out of business by foreign government-owned offshore wind companies.
From New England, we headed south to the Jersey Shore to meet sportsmen and concerned citizens in beach communities who are equally worried about offshore wind development. They say more renewable projects will hamper public access to the ocean and be an eyesore to vacationers. I spoke to New Jersey Outdoor Alliance's Arnie Ulrich and John Toth, along with Defend Brigantine Beach activists Keith and Suzanne Moore, about the proposed Atlantic Shores Wind LLC wind farm that, once completed, will be 10 miles off the coast of Brigantine Beach near Atlantic City.
Okay, initially I was for the windmills. I went to the first meeting on it. It was hosted by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. So I go to the meeting, I think I'm going to hear the greatest things going on with windmills. And these windmills are going to be placed on fertile fishing grounds. This is a food source for us. Scallops, squid. Now, we're going to have less of that because they're in areas where they shouldn't be, and we're going to pay higher prices. But I stood up for the commercial guys. I'm recreational anglers, and it doesn't matter. What's right is right.
Well, first of all, we believe this program has been basically rushed, reckless, and irresponsible. It's been pushed through the federal government. It's been pushed through the New Jersey legislature. Governor Murphy has taken extreme measures using and invoking executive privilege to basically block the townships from pushing back against him. So essentially he's revoked their right of home rule. We've asked for discussions with them. Our own mayor, Vince Sierra, has called them repeatedly, both Atlantic Shores and Orsted, to come meet with us, and they flat out refused.
Are we not going to have any more severe weather events in Brigantine? Is our ocean not going to rise anymore in Brigantine? Will the flooding stop? I think the answer to that is no. So why are we building 400 wind turbines 9 miles off our coast that's going to ruin our tourism? The whole Jersey Shore experience is going to change.
These stakeholders find themselves in a unique position as unlikely champions of marine life, including the 350 remaining right whales. There have been numerous news stories covering the beachings of whales over the past year, like those you see here. These media reports, by and large, point the finger at boaters, fishermen, and even climate change as being responsible. But many experts think they're related to offshore wind construction, including a number of mayors calling for a moratorium on offshore wind until its impact on large marine mammals can be better understood. I asked our interviewees if offshore wind turbine construction and underwater geotechnical surveys are responsible for over 60 East Coast whale deaths since December 2022.
What people will tell you from NOAA and from other pro-wind organizations is there's no correlation. They'll say it's climate change. You know, the whales were lost, the whales got hit by a ship.
I have read the federal government documents on this issue. It's not something that I'm making up. And what they say is that these surveys can cause temporary hearing loss for whales, but if they are continually exposed to the noise, it can cause permanent hearing loss. These surveys operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, constantly pinging the ocean with noise that obviously can cause hearing loss in these animals. So what the government is doing is they're authorizing an activity that they know will have impacts, that they know will most likely deafen these whales, but they have nothing to measure this against. They said, well, we don't have information for these whales. Well, those are the whales that are washing up.
Let me just explain, there are 25 wind farm projects, over 3,000 wind farms off of the Atlantic coast, covering 2.3 million acres of pristine ocean land. These wind farms off of New Jersey will be 1,047 feet tall. This will be a significant impact to your quality of life. It's going to destroy the ecology, not only the whales. The whales were a beginning. You know, God bless the whales for giving us a heads up on what's happening here.
We've just wrapped up interviews and are going to have some Jersey-style fun with Defend Brigantine Beach. An added bonus, our series videographer and season 22 contestant on The Voice, Madison Hughes, will headline the benefit concert. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at the event. Hello, Brigantine Beach. How's everyone tonight? It is so wonderful to be here amongst wonderful company. As Katie mentioned, I'm with CFAC, the Committee for a Constructive Tomorrow. We're conservation-minded. Politics aside, it's pretty evident what we believe in, but I'm going to turn it over to Madison Hughes, of course, now, and she's going to perform for you all in line with Defend Brigantine Beach. Again, we're really grateful to be here, and we hope you have a good night, and now I'm going to turn it over to Madison. It's her time to shine.
Thank you. When I went back to the hotel, he said he was gone. He's a bandit, he's a rolling stone. He'll steal your heart and just leave you alone. I should have listened when Mama said, don't ever tangle with the heartbreaking.
After examining the potential dangers of ocean industrialization, we are concluding our trip in the Northeast, doing a favorite American pastime, whale watching. These marine life are indicator species, meaning the more numerous and plentiful they are, the better the ecosystem is off. The Cape May Whale Watcher is a popular outfit here in the region, and they also happen to be skeptical of ocean industrialization. Are you looking forward to seeing some marine life? Yeah?
We're ready.
We're ready, come on. Northeastern coastal communities are vulnerable to President Biden's clean energy agenda. If these massive turbines proceed, many industries that keep this region afloat will go extinct. Even more problematic, the Pentagon found that these structures pose a massive national security risk. As a result, bipartisan lawmakers across the federal and local levels are urging the Biden administration to reconsider these plans. Will stakeholders' concerns be heard? Will the Biden administration reconsider this aggressive push for offshore wind? We'll continue to monitor the situation. This is Gabriella Hoffman signing off for Conservation Nation. Stay tuned for our next report.